Hi, it's Bedhead and BL and Mr. Bedhead. We're going to talk about the Untamed episode 3. We watched it last night. So we've gone back in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember about the episode? What like stuck out to you?
A lot of swordplay. Did I do it right? Because I can't say it.
Yes, but
Sorry.
there was only literal swordplay.
That's true. That's complete. There's no, it's a single entendre.
It's true.
They went to a Spirit Hunter TED Talk.
Spirit Hunter TED Talk. No. You mean the lecture? You haven't even seen that start yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that, but they went to it. I didn't say that.
Do you remember
they're on their way to it.
They're on their way, and there's some
in the way of their
speed
journey.
bumps. Yeah.
Some side quests.
Yes.
We got some pretty good. I just like that they're not wasting their time with the flashback. Like it's clearly very purposeful. We're getting a lot of good information about who Wei Wuxian used to be. It's interesting that we're only seeing him on opposite sides of this like period of time where he's like a crazy evil person.
We've
right?
seen his death.
So we've seen his death,
Yes.
and we've seen sort of what he becomes after that, which is, still the same person he was, but is this sort of, I don't know, it feels like there's a level of like kind of whimsy and mischievousness to him that it really makes it hard for me to imagine like what it's just something that I've commented on several times, like what is this person that he was during that time period.
Okay.
And I just really like how we are, as the audience, we don't really know what's going on with him, how, this time period that he was supposedly evil, supposedly doing all these things. Now, I do really enjoy the just like immediate tension between our leads.
I know. It's really delectable.
Titillating.
Yeah.
Once again, incredible fight choreography. Like it was straight up Crouching Tiger on the rooftops. Like,
I really love how, because we have these two characters on one, they're like kind of opposites, right? Black, white, like, one of them is a rule breaker. He's mischievous, he's playful. And the other one is like rigid and disciplined and, stoic. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
but we still see that he like is kind of messing, like Long John is still messing with Wei Wuxian a little bit, like around the rules and about.
No, that's like, how he is.
No, that's what I know.
Okay.
Like, it's just like there's that there's still that like playfulness to it.
And then he gets like triggered by him. Like remember when his brother looked down and saw how his hand was gripping the sword? Like so he's not actually unaffected. He's just masking.
Right. Yeah, totally.
And his brother though. How about those cheekbones?
God, I had some really funny joke about the cheekbones.
I know.
I can't remember what it was. I think I said like you want to jump his cheekbones or something like that.
Yeah, I think you might have said something about bones. It was good.
Yeah, I don't know. So it was a little weird. I actually didn't really fully explain or understand until you said it that like what was going on with the person that like kicked them out of the hotel room and took their rooms.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't clear to me even after all was said and done and we moved on to the next scene that it was, even after they made the comment about it, that was her betrothed or whatever.
The sister whose name
I thought those like significant glances they were sharing were just like he has the hots for her and vice versa. But
there was more political tension there.
more. So it's interesting to
Yeah.
know that. And I think, some of that is probably communicated in the nuance of the
Culture.
of the culture, but the words that they're using,
Oh,
right?
sure.
Like, because they're throwing out, like, there's that whole, like, dramatized disagreement where it's just like, no, he's not little master, he's young
Right.
master. And
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, those two words clearly are like significant.
What's happening there
They're
in
more
that scene
impactful than just
is
like
that
little and young.
Wei Wuxian is intentionally using incorrect
Right, yeah.
honorifics in order to put him in his place.
Mm-hmm.
And that clearly the Jin clan, I don't remember his name, Jin Ling, something like that, I don't remember. He knows what Wei Wuxian's doing, but his second in command dude is like all ruffled feathers about it.
I really want to point out too that I once again hate the fact that you have inadvertently shown me how the sausage is made, phrasing, in these shows, because of when we would watch shows like Spartacus or Game of Thrones, and you would just like instantly point out how bad someone's wig was. And because I can't, I just like, there's so many shows that are like,
well, everyone's wearing a wig in this show.
No, the women, a lot of the women are not. That's the thing that's so crazy is that, like, I have this moment. Yeah, it's true. But I have these moments where I'm like, oh, her hair looks good. I was like, oh,
she's a woman.
Hair.
Yeah.
It's actual hair.
It's true.
Cool.
It's true.
Yeah, not a horse.
For something like
hair.
this, though, I'm just like, oh, the wig's pretty good, because people, like, as much as if someone had really long hair, like, we have a good friend who's Asian who has really long hair.
It just really,
and it just doesn't. Most people like don't have super thick hair sideburns that like just this whole styling of their wigs is kind of
the way that the sides are manicured and like
Right.
that sort of like Vulcan look, that is like not as annoying to me as like the wisp of hair that just like hangs forever and never
You did
moves,
make
like,
a comment
like anime style
that you like the Lan clan's headbands.
Sure, yeah. I just like how it looks like they're kind of like floating in space.
They are aesthetically very pleasing.
They're clearly just like part of the wig. It's just
but they also have specific meaning in the show, which will come later. So that was kind of fun when you said that. Okay, but couple things. We're in cloud recesses, which you didn't remember. Do you remember when I told you? It's fine.
I knew that. I mean,
good.
That's what it was called. But that's the clan's like
the Lan clan's like home. And you've seen the tablet of the like 4,000 rules, so you know they're rigid. So you see how I said that he was kind of monk-like. It's like a very monk-like setting. They don't have any good food. It's all like boring vegetarian food. And
so rigid.
Yeah, but do you remember when I told you when I first started watching, like when they first pan into Cloud Recesses, it was kind of for me like the way that it was like to see Rivendell for the first time when you watch, because it was like, oh my gosh, like it just feels like they brought like the vibe of it to life, which is really fun. And there's going to be some more scenes because we're going to be in Cloud Recesses for a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's going to be more scenes that make me feel that way. But we haven't gotten to the first scene with the Wen clan, which was important. Fire Lord Ozai.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got Wen Rohan, who has a big giant throne and is like Fire Lord Ozai, but like way not as hot.
Yeah, it's also just like, so it's very...
do you think he's evil?
Yeah, it's very, I don't know, genre-esque.
Yes,
like
it is, very much.
Like,
I mean, we've
hyperbolic it is, just like...
We understand that this is a Chinese, obviously. And also, we've seen enough anime to understand, like, kind of the dramatic, comical nature. And I've watched enough Asian dramas of that they can come with, like, a period kind of drama villain, right? And that he really fits the bill. Yeah,
I mean, so far the story is, like, not super nuanced. I mean, like, just, like, like, okay, we're in the past now, we're doing some time jumping and stuff, but it's just like, yes, the piece, the artifact that we have one piece of, and we need the other pieces.
Yes.
And then it becomes one piece.
One piece.
So to speak.
Yeah, it's interesting because the show was a lot more mysterious. Sorry, not the show, the book. Like, I don't recall being introduced to the Yin Tiger Tally until, like, well into the series. And also, you don't know how Wei Wuxian died. You just wake up and the first scene is he wakes up in the body and you go from there. And so there's a lot more uncovering that's happening. But it's interesting how they're showing the relationship, especially about Jiang Chang's like reaction to him, right? When you've already seen that he was the one who dealt like the killing blow. Steve.
The coup de grace, if
The
you
coup
will.
de grace. Right.
Coup de grace.
I'm glad that you're picking up on the tension between them, right? Because remember what Yosh said, they did a really bad job of making the show not gay. Do you agree with him so far? Do you think you would have seen it if you didn't know that the show was gay?
Knowing what I know about China politically, I think that they're making it as gay as they possibly can.
They did, and now since this show, they've banned shows like this. They don't let them air, even if they're like this one where the gay is like,
look, this is how you gay in China,
this
and then
is subtext
Chinese government is just like, sweet,
no.
murder van all the production cast,
yeah,
and now we don't do these anymore.
That was a little bit intense.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So, what do you think is going to happen next?
I think there's gonna be a spiritual TED Talk.
There is going to be a lecture.
Are we gonna get the whole lecture?
No, because you also forgot about the mystery. There was a mystery introduced of the guy who's undead, right? Who has his...
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So, like, we've got a mystery afoot. We've got this guy with these cracks all up his face and white eyes. And we've seen that Wei Wuxian is, like, smart and has interesting observations to share. Also, keep in mind that he's about 16.
He's a sleuth.
He's a sleuth. He's a smarty pants. And we don't know why he lives with Jiang Chang and the Jiang clan, but he does, but that's not his actual clan. But he's with them. We don't know why.
I didn't really pick up on that. Why does he call her big sister then?
He's raised...
Senior sister? Is that what he calls her?
Yeah, she is his sister by social relationship. So he's being raised alongside them.
So by knowing, and without knowing anything else other than what information they've given us that I just maybe missed, based on what we know, they, like, in using the senior sister honorific, that, like, we can know that at this point of the audience that he's been raised by them, like, his whole life, or is that just unclear? Like, he's their ward or something?
Correct.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
So,
because he
was probably given to them as some sort of, what the reason wards are given traditionally is like as part of some peace treaty or conflict resolution.
It's not that
kind of thing. Okay.
But he did say specifically when he was talking to the hoity-toity guy who took the whole hotel up, he said to him, like, that's not my clan. Right?
Got it.
And so we do know that at least. Yeah. Okay. Episode 4 is next. Mysteries afoot. And we're going to hear a lecture.